What's going on, everybody? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, we're gonna talk what the fights that happened this weekend, man. We're gonna talk all of the boxing events that occurred, over the past weekend, and some Terrence Crawford news and some Earl Spence news. We got some Ryan Garcia stuff coming up as well. And Tank Davis, man, it's going down, man. I'm so hyped, man. It's going down in January 7th in Baltimore. Excuse me, in Washington, D.C. at the Washington Wizards Arena. It's going to be going down. Gervonta Tank Davis takes on Hector Garcia, the same guy that knocked out Chris Colbert. It's going to be going down, man. It's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be a awesome event. I just heard Lamont Peterson is going to be on the card. You got some other heavy hitters on the card, too. You got Jerron Boots, and it's going to be on the card as well. It's a lot of heavy hitters on that joint, man. I'm kind of hyped. It's man, it's gonna be so dope, man, to see that card, bro. Like, can you imagine going to a fight to see Lamont Peterson? He's in retirement right now. He's coming out of retirement for this joint, and I think his brother, Anthony Peterson, is gonna be on that card as well. It's gonna be a dope card, man. It's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be tuned in. It's gonna be, like I said, man, it's just gonna be a lot going down in the DC area. And he's giving back on this one. He could have fought in Vegas. He could have fought, pretty much anywhere he wanted to, but he chose to fight in DC, you guys. You guys gotta give it up, man. A lot of guys could have, fought in Vegas or fought wherever he wanted to, but Gervonta Tank Davis is gonna bring it back. He's going to bring it back to D.C. area. And it's going to give a lot of the DMV guys and women a treat. It's going to be awesome, man. I think it's going to be electrifying. I think Gervonta Davis is going to show up and show out. And I think Hector Garcia is going to be a good opponent for him. I think Hector Garcia is definitely one to watch out for. He's undefeated, former Olympian. Have, fought guys like Chris Colbert. And got some other notable wins as well. So it's a good fight, man. It's a really good fight. I think it's flying under the radar a little bit. Not because it's not a good fight, just because a lot of people don't really know who Hector Garcia really is. Hector Garcia is almost kind of like he's one of those type of guys. He could be a dark horse. You know what I'm saying? Hector Garcia. If Gervonta Davis is not on his A game come January 7th, Hector Garcia is the type of guy that can capitalize on that. You know what I'm saying? Smash that fucking like button. Let's get these likes up, man. Stop playing with me. This is Corey Lee Boxing. You know what I'm saying? What more you want? Live stream Sunday. Let's get it. But Hector Garcia is definitely one of those type of guys that can knock out. Not even knock out, but just give Gervonta Tank Davis problems. Gervonta Tank Davis has an iron chin. We've never really seen him hurt like that or knocked down for that matter. Hector Garcia, we've seen in the Chris Colbert fight that he has power, and it translates to the 135-pound division. A lot of fighters out there, man, have heard about Hector Garcia, but it's different when you get in the ring with a guy like that. You see what I'm saying? Chris Colbert thought he was going to be Hector Garcia. That's why he took that fight. Hector Garcia showed him straight up, it's game time, man. I'm not going down. This is what I do. I don't have no plan B. That's how Hector Garcia fought Chris Colbert. And I salute shit like that. Corey Lee Boxing here, Corey Lee Boxing, we salute shit like that, man. Hector Garcia was a hell of a fighter, man. To beat Chris Colbert. Chris Colbert was ready to sign for millions, man. I don't think you guys know how big Chris Colbert was ready to be. And I still think he can be big, but I just think that loss, took him back a little bit, took him a couple steps back. He didn't get knocked out, but he did start running in that fight. Chris Colbert is a guy that kind of he's a guy that can't stand in the pocket but can fight you from the outside. And I just think that, Chris Colbert, got caught. Hector Garcia is a good, clean fighter. And I like what I seen out of Hector Garcia. I like what I seen out of Hector Garcia. Um, but as far as Tank, and Hector goes in that fight, to break down that fight, you guys, like I said, I like what I see out of Hector Garcia. I think Gervonta Davis can win and can win by knockout if he doesn't rush it and he times his punches and he boxes like we know he can. But he's in front of a DC crowd. I know he's gonna want to get that knockout, man. He's gonna be in front of hometown fans, man. And it's different when you fight in front of hometown fans. You want to get the knockout. You want to get the knockout. You don't want to go in there and be like, man, I could have done better or I should have done better. No, you're going to want to get that knockout. You're going to want to definitely get that knockout. You're going to be in front of the DC fans, man. What more you want? And the Baltimore fans going to show out. It's different when Tank fought in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is a little ways from DC. It's a couple hours away still. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when you go to DC, it's right up the street. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a turnout, man. It's gonna be electrifying that night, man. And Hector Garcia can't spoil the night. That's why I'm trying to tell you guys, man. Hector Garcia can possibly spoil the night. He's that type of fighter. He's that lockdown, type of fighter. He had Chris Colbert on the back foot the whole fucking night. Chris Colbert did not want to stand and trade with him after he felt that power, man. That power hit different. I'm letting y'all know. Smash that like button, man. We can't even get the likes up. It's Sunday, and I'm giving y'all a live stream. We can't even get the likes up. I ain't even asking for no money. You know what I'm saying? Can I get the likes up, though? God. But yeah, I just feel like, with the Chris Colbert situation, Chris Colbert will move on. He'll do his other things. But like I said, Hector Garcia is a good fighter. Gervonta Davis is a good fighter. I just think that Gervonta Davis has the skills to be special. Not only special, he has knockout power on top of his boxing ability. So it's just like a lot of fight fans give Gervonta Tank Davis grief and a lot of shit. Because, they say he hasn't fought anybody, and they say he hasn't done this, and he hasn't fought, the Devin Haney's of the world, the Teofimo Lopez's of the world, the Lomachenko's of the world. And that's right. That's true. He hasn't fought any of those guys. But Gervonta Davis, in these next two fights, if he can solidify this Hector Garcia win and knock him out impressively, and then he can go on and fight Ryan Garcia, and beat Ryan Garcia, I think Gervonta Davis will get a lot more respect. And I think a lot more fans will be more, willing to spend their money on Gervonta Davis. And because at the end of the day, prize fighting is a money thing. Smash that like button, y'all. Let's get these likes up. Prize fighting is a money thing. So, a lot of these fight fans out here, if they're gonna go see a fight, they want to spend their hard-earned money on the fight. They want to get their money's worth. Don't you guys want to get you guys don't, if you go to a fight, don't you want to see some shit that you've never seen before? Either a stunning knockout or against two fighters that and you're like, man, that would be a good matchup if they can fight each other. And that's what we get with Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis. We both know them, but now they're going to fight each other. It's like, okay, boxing turning up on this one. You know what I mean? That's a win for boxing to me. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that the Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis fight is looming. Hector Garcia, you guys, could ruin this. I don't think you guys know, man. Hector Garcia even Ryan Garcia, and that's what I wanted to touch in lately, but I'll get on it now. Ryan Garcia, in a recent statement, you guys, he said on Twitter, he pretty much said that he's not gonna be in the fight anymore. He's not gonna take his tune-up fight that we thought he was gonna take against the Filipino guy, and he's saying that he doesn't need a tune-up against Mauricio Gesta. So he's talking about he's not even wanting to fight him. He's talking about he just wants to go straight into the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. And right now, man, I'm gonna be honest, man. I think Ryan Garcia should take that tuna fight. Because if you go straight into the fire, man, without even, getting, I don't know, I just feel like he should at least, take this fight. Morcita Jesta to me, he's not a dangerous. To me, any fight is dangerous, but this is like top out of the top 25 type of guy. This is not even a top 25 type of 140-pound fighter he's fighting. Okay? So this is out of the top 25, and it's like, Mercito Jesta could hit a home run if he catches Ryan Garcia out of shape or, not hitting on anything, but that's not a dangerous opponent. Gervonta Tank Davis got a more dangerous opponent, if you ask me. Shit, Hector Garcia could possibly beat Ryan Garcia, if you ask me. Yeah. Hector Garcia is a good fighter, man. I don't think enough people giving Hector Garcia credit. But, moving forward, Ryan Garcia is, supposed to be fighting this guy, Mercito Jesta, but he's talking about he's pulling out. He's not going to fight him now. So now that we're talking about he's not going to fight him, he's going to go straight to the Gervonta Davis fight. If Gervonta Tank Davis sparks him in 3 rounds, are they going to be like, damn, are the fans going to be like, wow, he should have took the tune up, or, he wasn't with this, trainer anymore. Is that why? It's just going to be so many excuses. I can just see it coming. So I just hope Ryan Garcia takes this tune-up fight. It was supposed to be in January as well. Gervonta Tank Davis is fighting January 7th, and Ryan Garcia was supposed to be fighting in late January. So it's looking like he's pulling out of the fight. He's pulled out of a couple fights before. And now we'll just see. We'll see what Ryan Garcia does, man. This guy is just a rolling. He's just a rolling media guy, man. I just feel like he's always in the headlines for the wildest shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's what Ryan Garcia wants. He wants you to talk about him. He wants you to build his fame up and shit like that, and his fortune up. To be honest with you, out of all the 135-pound guys, Ryan Garcia has fought the least opponent to me. You know what I'm saying? I'll say the least toughest resume. Ryan Garcia has fought, Luke Campbell, and some of the guys he's fought, it's like he fought Luke Campbell, Javier Fortuna, and it's like you fought guys, but it's like you ain't really fight nobody that's in the like top 5 though. Like, yeah, maybe even top 10. Some of these guys he's fighting. I mean, Luke Campbell. He has not fought a young fighter like himself in their prime, okay? A young fighter like himself, and fought him with an undefeated record. Ryan Garcia has not fought no person like that yet, And a lot of people might say Gervonta Davis haven't fought, a young, hungry, undefeated lion like himself. Some say that Gervonta Davis hasn't fought a person like that yet. So, it can go both ways. I can see where, both guys. But this guy, Hector Garcia, I feel like is a tough test for Gervonta Tank Davis. So I just think he shouldn't take him lightly. But yeah, moving on to some other subjects and some other news in boxing. You got, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. They're pretty much in no talks. Errol Spence just did an interview with ES News. Shout out to Ellie Setback. He just did a story and he just did an interview, and pretty much, Errol Spence said, I haven't talked to Terrence Crawford lately. And I quote. And so, right now that mega fight looms, man. A lot of people want to see Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. Me included. Me included. Shit. Y'all fuck around and see Corey Lee boxing at that fight too. Yeah. I need to go to that type of fight. That's the type of fight that can build my brand too, though. You know what I mean? Y'all had me asking the real questions. Y'all had me doing the dirty grunt work that none of the reporters really want to do. I feel like I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see though. But I feel like that fight looms. You know, a lot of people would love to see that fight, me included, like I said. And you know, Terrence Crawford right now just fought a fight, and then, you know, a lot of people talking about the whole glove situation with Terrence Crawford. Avanesian, pretty much, if you guys don't know, Terrence Crawford glove ripped or whatever in his last fight, like a week ago, and his glove ripped, and pretty much, you know, Avanesian's team, after being knocked out with that same glove or whatever, I think they switched the gloves the next round, or something happened with the gloves though, and you know, who's to say that Avanesian would have been hurt or anything if is it because of the gloves or what? People don't really know. So it's just like they're fine. Avanesian's team is filing you know, I guess some documents or whatever about the situation. And so they're gonna take that. I guess they're gonna appeal the knockout loss or something because of the gloves. So I'm not sure. Like I said, I haven't got too deep in on that situation yet. But you know, Avanesian team definitely filed some paperwork. So we're gonna see how that goes and stuff like that. As far as Crawford goes, he won. He came out of the fight unscathed. He pretty much had no cuts, no scar tissue, no damages. So I think he can go right into the Earl Spence fight. To be honest with you, I think the best case scenario is Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford next. Because if you think about it, Earl Spence keeps saying he doesn't want to fight Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to fight him, why don't you just fight a guy like Terrence Crawford that you do want to fight? Y'all just got to come. It's the money. It's the hold up right now, you guys, is the money. Okay? The money's got to get sorted out. They're talking about Terrence Crawford going with Black Prime and him not even getting paid yet. From the last I heard, like I said, I gotta look more into that situation as well. But the last I heard, Terrence Crawford has not gotten paid all his money from Black Prime. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, you know, I don't know too much about that situation. But we'll see. But you know, as far as, you know, the money goes with Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, man, Terrence Crawford just wants to get paid. You know what I'm saying? He feels like he took a court. He took some more. He took Bob Arum to court. Said, you know what I mean, yeah, I don't like the way I was treated and stuff like that. And, you know, so I think that shit a couple million worth. And so Terrence Crawford just wants to get paid. You know, Terrence Crawford just wants to get paid, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him, man. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I really don't blame him. You know, at this point in his career, you know, he wants to get paid. You know, and Terrence Crawford has always been a guy that's been about his family. His daughter is like a world class runner, and his son is like they're under 10 years old, I think, and they're both at world levels at their age group. Like Terrence Crawford's son is like the top 5 wrestler in his weight category in the world or some shit, some crazy shit. So I mean, Terrence Crawford and Breed is some monsters. So yeah, man, he's a family man too. I seen in the interview, Terrence Crawford said that he would never miss none of his sons or daughters, you know, like meets and stuff like that. No matter if he's in camp training or what, he said he'll never miss their sons' functions or daughters' functions. So I thought that was pretty cool too, man, that he said that and that he meant that. And yeah, man, it's just time to get it on. Earl Spence. That's the latest on Terrence Crawford. The latest on Earl Spence is his fighter Frank Martin just won last night with an impressive knockout win. Impressive unanimous decision win. He did knock Rivera down. but he eventually went to the scorecards, and Frank Martin won convincingly against Rivera, and the show moves on, and Frank Martin now becomes a threat, or maybe even a dark horse at 135. I like what I seen out of Frank Martin. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, man, because Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford, they haven't talked. So what the fuck we talking about them if they haven't fucking talked? Come on, man. I refuse to keep talking about shit that ain't happening right now, man. We need to talk about this shit that is happening right now. Frank Martin is happening right now, man. I like what I seen out of him, man. He did his thing. And they call him the ghost. This was some would say this was a 60-40 fight for Frank Martin. Some would say it's a 50-50 fight. Both guys came in this undefeated, they said Rivera, fought like Muhammad Ali, and DC Mike thought that Rivera was actually Muhammad Ali's grandson or something. And I'm like, how? From the Dominican Republic? And I'm like, come on, DC. So we got a bet going on about that. He thought that was actually his real grandson or whatever. And I'm like, nah. Nico Ali is Muhammad Ali's grandson. And he's undefeated. And he's doing good. But Nico Ali, to be honest, I ain't even trying to start this shit, man. But to be honest with you, though, the real Muhammad Ali's grandson, he's okay, but he's not like, I don't feel like he will fight for a world title. He's just like I'm not even going to say a YouTube fighter. He's more of a, he needs a couple wins under his resume for me to even, put him in the category with any of the top guys. I don't even know what weight class Nico Ali fights at. I think it's like 160 or something. Dude would get stretched by Triple G. Triple G a champion at 160. Any of the champions that I'm thinking about that's close to Nico Ali's weight class, he'll get stretched. He'll get iced out. He'll get iced out completely. He's at 154, Judah. Shout out to Judah in the chat, man. He's at 154. Nico Ali's getting stretched by Charlo. Costa Zua stretch him. Shit, I even think Jared Hurd will stretch him. You know what I'm saying? Let's see where he's at. Nico Ali versus Jared Hurd. That'd be a good fight. But no, I don't think Nico Ali's really looking for smoke right now. I think he's just trying to learn. And yeah, man. But as far as Frank Martin goes, versus Rivera last night, man, it was like I said, it was a 50-50 fight coming in. Some would say. And like I said, man, some would say it'd be a 50-50 fight, but Frank Martin distances himself. He showed poise. He showed good head, footwork. Footwork was very good. He didn't have any weight, like he said in the post-fight press conference, he didn't have any wasted movement. He was slipping in and out of shots, and he looked very fluent. He looked very, very skilled. It looked like he's, iron sharpened iron with Earl Spence being his training partner and his, quote-unquote boss, being that he's his promoter as well. So you train with your promoter, and you're promoted by a world champion, which is Earl Spence, all in one. That's a gift. That's a gift from God, yo. For you to train and be promoted by a world champion currently. This is all current shit. Could you imagine Earl Spence being this shit crazy, bruh. Could you imagine Earl Spence, okay? Listen to this shit. I don't know if anybody talked about this on their show or not, but listen to this. Could you imagine Earl Spence, okay, promoting a world champion fighter and being a world champion himself? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all can't tell me that ain't crazy, bro. That's dope as shit, though. Could you imagine, like, Earl Spence is a world champion right now. Unified, okay? Frank Martin fought in a title eliminator. That means his next fight, he just beat Rivera. I didn't get to finish what I was saying, but he just beat Rivera, and he fought in a title eliminator. So now he's gonna be fighting for a title his next fight. So I think that'll be a good fight. And I mean, I just can't wait. I can't wait to see what Frank Martin can do. I think he's a tremendous talent. Like I said, he wound up beating Rivera by a 12th round unanimous decision. And like I said, Frank Martin right now, man, could fight with, I think he would do good against, you got to put Frank Martin in there with a top 10 guy next, I think. I think Frank Martin's ready for a top 10 guy, you guys. What you guys think? I think he's ready, man. Frank Martin, he showed he got class. He showed he got skill. He showed he got skill, and he said, I said something close to that earlier on my live, but don't quote. He says, what you said, Corey, that is bananas. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Earl Spence could possibly be promoting a world champion and him being a world champion too. Yeah, that might be a first. I don't think Mayweather ever did no shit like that. Mayweather started promoting fighters and shit like that after his career, not while he was in the prime of his career. Earl Spence doing some shit that ain't never been really done before. And I don't even dick ride Earl Spence. You got a lot of dick riders that just dick ride Earl Spence. I'm not even a dick rider. I'm just calling it how it is. He's a straight up guy. You know what I'm saying? That's a world champion. You know what I'm saying? And he's promoting a possible future world champion. Because I think Frank Martin in his next 1 or 2 fights could be a world champion. For real though. Seriously. So that means Frank Martin be a world champion at the same time Earl Spence. That shit gotta be a record, yo. That shit gotta be some type of that could possibly throw Earl Spence in the Hall of Fame as well. That's some wild shit, man. That's dope. That's dope, man. I don't know. I just feel like that's dope to me. But Earl Spence, promoting and not only promoting, but help. Like, you gotta understand, man. Boxing is a dirty business, man. So if you got a guy like, Earl Spence in your corner that can help promote you, can help train you, and that can tell you everything you need to do to be a fighter and to be a world champion because he is one himself, and he's gonna promote you. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's a cheat code. Frank Martin got a cheat code down there in Texas, man. Yeah. He's on cheat status right now. I'm just joking, but I'm being real though. Like, you just don't get that too often, man. That it happened like that. You know what I'm saying? And Frank Martin's being coached by the same coach as Earl Spence, bro. Like, it gets no better than that. It gets no better than that. It's like the best it can get in boxing when it comes to like learning and tutelage and knowledge and with your finances and with just the way boxing is in general. For to have a young general like Earl Spence, because this is showing me, man. This is showing me that Earl Spence can be a boss too. It's showing a lot of things about Earl Spence in this equation. It's just Frank Martin, I think, and I think that this is, let me just say this. I think the reason why Earl Spence signed Frank Martin is because he trains with Frank Martin. He knows what Frank Martin does every day. So if you see what this guy can do every day, why not sign him? He's probably like, damn, this dude can fight. And he's at a smaller weight division than Earl Spence. Earl Spence fights at 147. Frank Martin fights at 135. Yeah, there's Frank Martin's smaller than Earl Spence. It's like kind of like a little brother to him. But that's so dope, man. That's so dope. That's pretty much kind of like what the Gary Russells got going on over there. You got all the Gary Russells over there. And now shout out to all the Gary Russells, Gary Russell's father just passed away. And so his son, Gary Russell, that's at 126, he is training his younger brothers and probably helping them, with the promotion and everything like that. you got to understand that's just a blessing, man, to have stuff like that. And I feel like that's what Frank Martin has, right now. And I just think boxing is a dirty sport, and I just think that, it's a sport I love though. But it gets grimy out here, man. And boxing was one of the grimiest. Because we don't have an NFL or commissioner or anything. Anything goes in boxing. I seen Beebs talking about, shout out to Ringside Reporter. I seen them talking about something on his live stream the other day about the boxing gloves or whatever like that, and how certain people need to be held accountable and stuff like that. And I understand what he's saying. I definitely do. But the way boxing goes now, man, money can pretty much solve anything in boxing. I feel like that's the way boxing's set up now. If the price is right, your problems will go away in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm keeping it real, man. I'm telling the truth. All your problems will go away, man. You seen fighters with some wild shit in their life. And they fight. A year later, they fight. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like only in boxing, man. Only in boxing, man. But, hey, that's the sport I love. And that's why we here today. But yeah, man, as far as, Frank Martin goes, to wrap him up, and to pretty much, say what I got to say about him, I think he's a great fighter, and I think he'll be fighting for a world title in his next 1 to 2 fights. 1 to 2 fights, Frank Martin will be fighting for a world title. And yeah, man, that pretty much covers everything, man. I've been on live for about 30 minutes, man. I appreciate everybody watching, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And those are just some of the stories right now that come off the top that's happened this weekend and stuff like that. Some of the current stuff. Oscar De La Hoya put on a show. I mean, those fighters that he put on on the DAZN card was, I mean, it wasn't really that good. You know what I'm saying, to me? You know what I mean? He had Diego De La Hoya on that card, I believe, his nephew. I believe he won, but he lost to Ronnie Rios, And then Ronnie Rios lost to this Uzbekistan guy. I seen him fight before, but he's in Stephen Fulton's weight division. And Stephen Fulton, you guys, before I get off this live stream, Stephen Fulton got a problem, yo. At whatever weight class let me see what weight class. I think he's at 118. But let me dig a little deeper into this, because I wanted to talk about this on a separate video, but I'll talk about this because we're still on the live stream. Stephen Fulton is 21-0. Okay, you guys. Stephen Fulton Jr. is 21-0. He's from Philadelphia. He's a very good fighter. He just beat Brandon Figueroa, which was undefeated. 2 young guys. Okay, at the time. Stephen Fulton was like 19-0 or 20-0, and Brandon Figueroa was 22-0. Okay, and they both fought each other, and Stephen Fulton won, and then after and won. I thought he won pretty convincingly. It was a tough, close fight. But I would say 116, 112 would be pretty good. But then he fought Daniel Rahman, and he beat him by unanimous decision. 120 to 108. One of the judges had it. So, you got him, but then you got this other guy that I want to talk about in his division. And his name is Mirajadan Amekadev. Okay? Sorry if I'm butchering his name. He fights out of Indio, California. And he's from Uzbekistan. See, I was right though. I was right. I cannot even pronounce his name, but I got the country right though. Yeah. Look at this dude, man. I'm gonna just put him on my laptop real quick for you guys. Check him out. My editing sucks, you guys. I gotta work on my editing. But yeah, he's 11-0. He's from Uzbekistan, and this dude is the truth. This dude is the truth. This dude is the fucking truth. I want to see him in there with some, top guys, man. I want to see him in there with Stephen Fulton. This guy is a champion
in Stephen Fulton's weight class, and they need to fight. They're both world champions right now, currently. Okay?
And let me tell you, let me show you who this guy just fought. Okay? To just bring this up real quick while we on the subject. He just fought the guy Ronnie Rios. Remember, Ronnie Rios knocked out and stopped Diego De La Hoya. That was Oscar De La Hoya's nephew. So this Ronnie Rios knocked him out, okay? Then this Uzbekistan kid knocked Ronnie Rios out, okay? Knocked him out completely. You know, and he won. Before that, he fought a couple other guys. He fought Jose Vasquez, which was 29-6. And he fought a couple other guys. Then he fought, so pretty much he fought the guy Daniel Ramon. He fought the guy Daniel Ramon, the same guy that I told you Stephen Fulton fought. Stephen Fulton knocked him out, got a unanimous decision. And this Uzbekistan kid has got a split decision. It's common opponents. So I just feel like that'll be a really good fight. They already got a common opponent. Both got unanimous decision and both couldn't stop Daniel Ramon. But that you got to understand, Stephen Fulton Jr., I believe, has 2 world titles. And, this Uzbekistan kid has 2 world titles. He's the IBF world champion and the WBA world champion. And if you guys know boxing, there's 4 major sanctioning belts in each weight class. And to these guys fight, you could be undisputed at 118, which would be dope. Because Inoue's talking about he's moving up. And this Uzbekistan kid, and I think maybe, Inoue might fight each other, or maybe you could get the Stephen Fulton Jr. and Inoue fight. Because Inoue's moving out. And you guys know that Inoue's been on my top pound-for-pound list for 3 to 4 years, as long as I've been doing YouTube. So you guys know that I really thought highly of Inoue and Usyk, and they're both still undefeated. I've been talking about both of those fighters for 4 years on my channel. So this ain't nothing new to me. I know about these foreign fighters and these, Japanese and European and sometimes even you got some other fighters now, you guys, from Australia too. You got them, they're starting to climb up the ranks. For a while Australia, really wasn't doing nothing. But, they're starting to pick it up. You guys know Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao. He's from Australia. And like I said, man, we'll see, man. But these foreign fighters are starting to come over on US soil, and they're making their footprint, man. They're really making their footprint. This Uzbekistan kid named Marjan Mekalev is 11-0 with 8 knockouts, man. I think he's good. He's ranked number 2 in the world. Stephen Fulton's number 1. Number 1 and number 2, why don't they fight each other? That's all I got to say, you guys. I just think that they should fight each other. I think they're both on 2 different promotional companies, so that fight might not ever happen, you guys. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. I had to break that down real quick because that was one of my thoughts in my head. I got so many boxing thoughts, I just don't talk about them too much on my live streams. But thank you guys so much for watching, man. And next Sunday, man, we'll give you guys another show. I'm gonna try to start doing this every Sunday because I work crazy hours. And this is a time to just kind of, chill out and, thank the Lord, man. Gotta have God in your life, man. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. You guys have a great day. This is Corey Lee Boxing, and you've definitely been hit with another banger. Peace out.